Okay, to start with question one, what I noticed, or something that interested me was definitely the portrayal of Esther's character because I definitely thought that she was kind of wishy-washy in that she really wanted to like be independent and open her own beauty parlor and like be someone for other women, but at the same time, she had this really idealistic version of marriage that she wanted for herself and that in the end she was willing to settle for. So I just thought that was kind of interesting was Esther's portrayal. Um, this moving on to question two, the values represented. First, I think was idealism, and then ultimately the failure of the American dream. Again, bringing up Esther and her like idea of this beauty parlor that really never came to fruition, but that she wasn't really willing to give up on. And then also George's like idealism of like what America would be like, and kind of how that really didn't live up to like his expectations. An example of this from the text is that he said, "At least in Panama, I know where you stand and know where to chat." Um, and that was on page 56. So pretty much it's just him kind of like deflated and defeated that America wasn't all that it was hyped up to be. And then the second like value or perspective that I noticed um, was appeasing men and kind of like this role women were forced to play in order to keep like their husbands happy. And I think Mrs. Van Buren definitely represented this and like wanting to like dress up really you know attractive for her husband and buying all these extravagant outfits. And I think also Mrs. Dickinson is an example about like pleasing men. And when she says to Esther on page 38, you needn't be a prude. Trust me, your man will have needs, and it's her duty to keep his member firmly at home. So she's kind of like warning Esther that she might have to like submit to some things that she doesn't want to do in order to keep her husband happy, which is kind of unfortunate. And then the third question, reading with a pencil. I didn't know what a smoking jacket was, so I looked it up, and it literally just is a jacket that men wear to cover their clothes so that they don't smell like tobacco. So that's just something I had to look up because they mentioned it a lot. For the fourth question, the issue of diversity. One of the R's, I definitely think that this play like reinforces the plight of African American women, and that they not only had to deal with white supremacy, but also like having to like deal with pleasing their men at home and like the domestic affairs that they had to struggle with at home, and often they had to do with like their husband's ego. So yeah, I thought that was interesting. Stereotypes, definitely think they still exist today. Question five. I think that you can see that even in like in the media, like the relationship between cops and like if there is like a difference in race, that it always is hyped up in the media. When that really shouldn't matter. Like it shouldn't matter the color of your skin when prosecuting someone or when serving justice. And finally, some of the questions I had. The first one was, do you think Esther will reignite or even pursue her relationship with Mr. Charles? Because it kind of leaves off like on a cliffhanger. And then the second question, do you think Mrs. Dickinson regrets her decision to marry up like she did with her husband, so she didn't have to do the work she didn't want to do like her mom?